Hey, welcome back to one of my life guide videos. I'm your host, Veracitytrigger, and we're going to go over expectations today. So I've got this list of expectations. I don't know if you can see the page there, but we're going to go over this. And so expectations, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So there's 6 things there that I'm going to talk about. So we're going to go over this, and this is for gamers, and this is for everybody else as well. Just some life tips. This will be in the playlist Living Life Activated. So that'll be in that playlist in my channel if you want to go ahead and check it out. It's kind of a new thing that I'm doing, but I think this is pretty good because I've wanted to do this for a while, and I'm finally really getting back into it. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like and subscribe for more. That'd be cool. But let's go into this and let's talk about this a bit. So number 1 is answers people are looking for. Okay, so let's talk about that, right? So there's answers people are looking for. And if you have a friend, now expectations, this is basically mostly going to be about your personal expectations, but also this does spill over into other people as well. So let's just go through this real quick because this was a part of my train of thought as far as writing this down and putting this together and trying to make a good video for this. So answers people are looking for, especially friends, family, people you don't know, people you're trying to, impress, you're trying to, get on your boat as far as your ideology or, concept or product you're trying to sell or build or whatever. People are going to be looking for the answers that they're looking for, right? You can't always just go by that, and sometimes you're going to lose someone else's interest as far as their expectations goes because what you're saying might not confirm what they want to talk about. And that's something you just have to try to live with, because the fact is, let's say you had like a percent of people that you had to talk to, and you had, out of 10 people you had to talk to, and you had to try to sell, I don't know, just something ridiculous. Let's say you had to try to sell a pencil to a random person somewhere, right? You had to sell it to 10 people, and you had to try to be successful at that because that was your goal. That was your whole goal in life. You had to sell one pencil to 10 people in your lifetime, right? You might get 10 out of 10. You might get 10 out of 10 people to buy it, but you might get 9 out of 10. It could go any real way. It might go pretty badly, but if, let's say you have success at that, there's your success. But let's say you had to sell to 100 people. Now, let's say that same rule still applied. You had like a 90% chance of success. You're only going to be able to sell 90 pencils to people, and 10 people are going to reject you. That's the same way with expectations. The more you try to give your talk, your idea to other people, the more people it circulates to. You might have some higher expectations too, but you're also going to have some more unexpected expectations of rejection coming your way. So here's number 2. Giving people the answer that they want feeds their ego while feeding their confirmation. So when you just go ahead and just, bend over backwards and just give them the answer that they want, it feeds their ego, and because their ego and because of what they might think that you've actually researched some of this stuff to the point that you also believe the answer that they're looking for. So this can feed their confirmation, and it can make their expectation the very thing that they're asking for. And now you're going to start feeling like you have to deliver that expectation because you fed their ego even though you did no research over it, and you gave them the answer that they wanted. So sometimes expectations, as far as like trying to talk with other people and trying to get an idea going and all that, you have to try to stick to your expectation and not lead into the vibe. And this is what happens with a lot of mainstream stuff too, is they want to like lead you down this path of like just go with the flow, just do, just just go with what other people are doing and saying and all that. And you're feeding their confirmation while you are literally doing no research. You're not doing anything to hold up yourself in any real way. So you end up just getting caught in a current and sucked downstream. It doesn't help you in any way. And plus, it doesn't help you stand out as an individual to help other people see that you have a particular expectation. Now, whether that kind of slightly aligns with them or doesn't, your expectations is what you're trying to meet, right? This is why you're watching this video, because you want to try to see about expectations and see like how far you should go and all that. And so this is what I'm going to try to help with that. But number 3 is high expectations bring the mind into an imagined high. So yes, they both match. High and high. I know I wrote high at the beginning and at the end, but it's kind of the truth. If you have too high of expectations, it brings your mind into this euphoric state, like it's going to be super awesome and amazing. And you could potentially reach that, but it's also the fact that you might get close, but you might not completely get there. So, just think about your expectations, definitely have a little better than, just like have a better understanding as to like your expectations as to how high you can reach. But, don't set the bar too high that you end up having some kind of hubris over it. The whole, what was that Greek god? I forgot who it was. Icarus. That's right. Icarus. Look up Icarus. But, let's move on to number 4. I'll see if I can tie that in here a little bit more, but let's move on to number 4. Most jobs, now this is talking about job expectations, and this also works with streamers as well, because of what you see other people doing, and also like if you're a Twitch user or if you're this other streaming kind of user, if you're a YouTube streamer or whatever, this applies as well. Because of self-employment and all that. But most job employers have unbelievably high expectations, and when they fail their goals, they blame the workers. So sometimes, and I've seen this, I haven't worked as a salesman, but I've worked at companies that have had a lot of salesmen, and they put the bar pretty high, and if they don't get their goals, oh man, it can be kind of rough. And so, if you work that kind of job, I'm sorry, but that can kind of be that way too. And also looking at like all the giant lists of things, like even on Twitch, there's all these lists of things you got to do. You got to get this many thousands of views for this, and this many thousands of viewers at this time to do this. And it's like, wow, that's a lot. And some people do get up to that pretty quickly, and some people don't. It's just, it depends on your situation, how often you can work, what you're interested in, as far as like what other people are also interested in. Like if you're interested in more of a niche kind of thing, you're just going to get other niche kind of people to be also interested in you in that particular area. But if you're interested in a very, very, big thing that is just very general, you're going to get very general audiences too, as far as streaming and all that kind of stuff goes. So it really depends on like what you want to do. And the fact is, you might actually like niche kinds of things more than general kinds of things. But then if you try to go ahead with what I was saying earlier, like trying to feed someone else's ego, because you want to give the other person the answer, right? You're going to be in an area that you're just not comfortable in, okay? So you have to be in an area that you're comfortable in. You can't go into someone, a different kind of comfort zone. Try to force yourself into that to expect the actions that you're seeing other people in those areas getting. So you have to realize like the position you put yourself in is also going to attract the same kind of people in that position as well. But all right, so let's go on to the next one. Number 5, don't blame yourself for not physically meeting your imagined state. So that's one of the big ones here that I was going to try to cover from number 3 here. Don't blame yourself for not physically meeting your imagined state. Now, you might come close, but let's look at it like baby steps, right? Let's look at it like baby steps. Like every day or every month, look and see, like, what do I feel like I've accomplished here as far as my expectations goes? Did I get a little bit closer to what I was hoping for? Yeah. Then that should be, a good thing. The fact is, you kind of have to take life every day, day by day. If you're looking at trying to get to this particular goal and then you finally reach it and there's nothing left to do, now you got to come up with a whole new set of expectations. So the fact is, like, every day you should be happy with the little bit of accomplishments you've been able to accomplish. Whether it's great or small depends upon, what you have been able to procure, and that's a part of your expectations that you're going to have to focus on. Make sure you focus on your expectations as far as what you're trying to accomplish, but don't blame yourself over the fact that you didn't meet that whole goal. Life is a bit of a journey in that sense, and it's good to, be able to slowly get there. And sometimes you're going to ride a roller coaster wave, and you're going to get, faster a little bit sooner than you expected. But, that's life goes, back and forth. It's not a consistent arrow of, of expectations. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like life's a roller coaster. It's kind of true in that sense. All right. So number 6, be happy with each step that brings you closer to your expectations. This is essentially what I was just saying right now. So just be happy with each step that brings you closer to it. And expectations can even change too, as you move through life. Maybe you just decide you just don't care about this anymore. You don't want to do this anymore. Or this thing that you were doing just takes up so much time and so much energy. You're just like, I don't have the energy to do it. I'm going to do something else right now. And that can happen, but that doesn't mean that you won't go back to that particular idea or job or aspect or whatever. It just means you're taking a break, right? But yeah, that's what I have for expectations. If you have any other if you have any other questions or whatever, leave it in the comments down below. Definitely smash the like and hit the subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of content. I'd like to, I'd like to get your opinion as far as what you think about this, because I personally, and from what I've seen other people talk about too, I think there's just a lot of menagerie as far as like what, groups or corporations or, ideas of things as far as like how we should be at this point. It's a slow process. And, I don't know what else to say. Thanks so much for watching. Definitely check this playlist out in the playlist called Living Life Activated, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you want to watch some strategic videos I put out a lot of Brigandine content, but I might put out some other content in the future when there's new content to put out. But other than that, have a great day and take care.